One of the hardest things in this life when you are learning, growing, and navigating who you are is finding out what your purpose is. I'm a firm believer that we are all here for a specific reason to fulfill an assignment, and usually that assignment is to elevate and help others around you. We're all contributing to the elevation of humanity, but the burning question really is, what are you supposed to contribute? I reshaped thinking of purpose this way because it helped me understand that you are gifted something that can help solve the problem that somebody else has. And look at it from a lens of almost like solving a problem, like an equation. What can I do slash bring to this person that is going to equal a solution? It is important to note that whatever you do find that you're interested in, at this age that you're currently at, or you feel like maybe your purpose, there's a good chance it may shape and take different forms throughout the years. We cannot predict the future, but we can strive and work towards what we feel motivated currently and in the present moment as who we are today. In your interests and what you're working towards and your motivation is usually the foundation of your purpose. And what I mean by foundation is that over the years, you're going to continue to keep building. It's going to take on new shapes and new forms, new skills, new identities, and it's going to grow with you as you also grow in this life. I'm going to tell you 3 ways that you can help identify your purpose. 3 little steps that I've taken over the past 2 years to really help me narrow down exactly what it is that I feel like I am destined here to do. Of course, above all, I will always say, if you spend time in prayer, if you even spend time in meditation and by yourself, it will reveal to you who you are, what your purpose is here on earth, and all of the beautiful things and visions that come to people while they are meditating. But obviously, if you don't know how to meditate and you don't know how to meditate properly, you don't want to go to a class to learn about it, you don't know how to pray properly, you may not have the closest relationship with the Lord for Him to reveal to you what your purpose is, try these 3 steps. And I promise you, you may just get a little bit closer than you were before. First, just start off with simply what brings you joy. Now, I know you've heard this. I know they're like, oh, figure out what you like to do and find a way to flip it into selling it to people and doing all that. No, I'm not talking about that. I am talking about find out what genuinely brings you joy. When you are off of work, when you don't have anything to do throughout your day, what do you like to do? Even if it is laying in the bed. I like to do absolutely nothing. I like to lay in the bed. I like to watch TV. Okay. What kind of TV series? Are you sleeping in bed? Are you scrolling on your phone? Find what you like to do on your days off. The things that bring you joy that you could do for hours and hours and hours. If you were getting paid to do that right now, you would be like disgustingly rich. Like the thing that you do that you find the most joy in because it passes time so quickly for you and you look forward to it. Think about it. Think really hard and deeply about what brings you happiness. What are you doing on your spare time? What comes naturally to you in a joyful way? And then take a step down and peel back another layer and dive deeper into what skills, attributes, and behaviors come with that thing that brings you joy. I'm going to give you guys an example because this is a little bit confusing. And when I was trying to write out my notes and get my head like in the right space for this, I was like, okay, I don't really know where I'm trying to go with this, but like I do, but I'm going to give you guys an example. Whenever I'm at work and I'm looking forward to something, it is always to hang out with my friends. I am the type of person where it's like, I love to curate a vibe. I love to get my friends together and be like, guys, let's go try out this new restaurant. Let's go to this new place. I am all about a vibe and curating a vibe. I love to hang out with my friends. Like if there is one thing that I could do and get paid for, it would be spending time with my friends, doing the smallest things, going to the beach, taking trips, like genuinely spending time with my community and my friends is everything to me. I don't like to consider myself a social person, but I do like to have fun and see the joy and happiness on my friends' faces. We are like having a good time and enjoying ourselves. Big skill in that I see for myself is the fact that I'm really good at curating an itinerary. I know how to choose good food spots. I know how to do things that are entertaining depending on which friend that I'm with. I know if I'm with a specific friend that likes to do outdoorsy stuff or likes to go to the club, or a different one that likes to try new restaurants. I'm really, really good at knowing my friends and knowing what they like and what they don't like. And I'm also really good with planning and finding unique and little cute spots that I would want to go to, because every single time I see a cute and little like niche unique spot, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I know my homegirl would want to go to this spot with me, and I'm like immediately texting them. And that's like one of my love languages, and I just love it so much because it brings me so much joy. And then when I'm at work, I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to go to X, Y, and Z after work today, so I'm so excited. I could start creating some digital itineraries. I could maybe become part of like travel agencies or get into some of those areas. Maybe even take it on social media and form it into like a little business of mine. Now, I'm not saying that whatever you do find happiness in, go start a business with it, because I'm not gonna lie. Although I do love that and I do find happiness in that, there's also a lot of other things that I do enjoy that I think I would rather want to curate profit off of. However, that's just one example of one of the things that I do enjoy and I've always enjoyed as a child. If I really wanted to take that route, it's something that of a skill that I already have and obtain. Also, there may be people out there that are not the best at curating an itinerary or planning a trip or whatever the case is, that would love to pick my brain for it. So there's definitely some skill sets in there that could be profitable and that I could go based off of and that I could lean into my purpose more. But although I do find this joyful, I like to keep it as something that I like to do for myself, because I do love it and I wouldn't mind doing it for work, but also at the same time, there's so many other things that I do enjoy, and I'm going to get into some more steps as to how I kind of navigated where I really wanted to put all my focus and attention into. I'm the type of person where it's like I want to do everything. I want to have my hands in everything, and I can't necessarily do that. So I had to focus on my main big priorities of what I really wanted for myself. But it's a really good place to start if you're really confused and you're like, you don't have that one thing that you're very passionate and like have a big desire for. It can help to look at some of the things that you do enjoy and see some of the skills that you do have with underneath it, and then see how they overlap with who you are today, and dig deeper in that sense and area and see what you would find joy in learning more about. If you don't find yourself loving to learn more about it or to practice it or to know more, and you like it at the level that is at right now, maybe that isn't the one. But again, still analyze it, still look at it, see what you can pull out of it and take from it, and continue moving down the list of things that you enjoy and love to do. I know it's so much easier said than done, because a lot of the times our lives are so busy with work and school, and we have to prioritize other things that we don't get a lot of time to spend for ourselves. And when we do, it's like trying to take care of ourselves or socializing with our friends or our family. But if you didn't have to do any of that, right? Like if you could just imagine just a day that's completely up to you and what you would love to do, where does that joy lie? Going into my second one, that may even help you find that joy. Because if you're like, girl, I'm stuck, like, I don't know, I got nothing. My next suggestion would be to go back to your roots. Dig deep and down back to the core and most authentic version of yourself, which is the child version of yourself. When you were a child, what did you like to do most? What type of games did you play? What did you lean and gravitate more towards? Was it watching TV and different movies and TV shows? Was it technology, playing outside, animals, being creative, dress up? What did you find joy in as a child? At the core of who you are is always going to lie your inner child. And your inner child, again, was the most authentic version of yourself before the world shaped you and created you into this version of you that you are now. And with all the knowledge from the world that you now have, you were just like this being in this world that was like, I am showing up authentically me, and I'm gravitating towards the things that I love. A few days ago, I had charged my iPod Touch, my first iPod that I have ever gotten at the age of, I think I was 9 or 10. And on that iPod, there was pictures. I had taken of my friends. And I remember we used to play this game where I would dress them up. I'd pick out outfits, and it would be different themes. Like it would be different themes for the photo shoots. And I would put them in these outfits. I would have them go to like different locations throughout the house and pose, and I would take the photos of them. I was always the one taking the photos and curating the outfits. I never was in front of the camera. And as I got older, I was laying in bed literally last night and I started to think about this because I charged my iPod after I created the notes for this video because I really wanted to like I've always wanted to charge my iPod again because I wanted to get the photos off of there just in case anything were to happen. However, it was a really good like alignment time for me because I was about to record this video. And I think there's so much value in knowing the type of child that you were and who you were as a child. And even if you don't remember, if you like are like, girl, I got childhood trauma to the yards, like I don't remember, understanding through other people's perspectives or just the little things that you can remember. The type of person you were as a child is everything. It tells you so much about yourself and about your life and where you're currently at right now. So this game of photo shoot was really funny to me. When I was in college, I was a creative director for a magazine. I curated photo shoots, I did mood boards, I chose the outfits, I hired photographers. I had them. I was like at every single photo shoot. And it is so funny because never once did I get to college and I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this. Like I want to be the creative director. Like no, it just so happened to pan out that way. And it was really like it was just really weird how I ended up being the creative director. I literally went into the organization just wanting to like be a part of the team, and then like a year later I ended up getting into the creative director position. I never went into college being like, I want to join an org like this. I never thought about it in high school. Never. And I was sitting there and I'm like, that is so crazy how everything connects and kind of just draws back to you as a child. Even when they talk about childhood trauma and the way that you show up in today's world, your behaviors, your attitudes, your attributes, everything, the way that you are as the person you are today always leads back to your childhood. All of the healing that you've done, all of the growing, all of the evolution always goes back to who you were as a child. So when you're trying to figure out your purpose and what you can contribute to this world, think about your child self and really like lean into her and what she was or him, what they love to do on their free time. And that may just help you discover your joy. Everything leads back to who you were as a child, the most authentic version of yourself. And although I never considered myself and even thought about what I really wanted to do in my future, it just naturally started to unfold for me because I continued to gravitate towards those interests that I did have as a child. Looking back, all the times that I've curated those little photo shoots with my friends and that I've recorded videos with my siblings and friends and edited them on Splice or the video stars, I really look back at it and think about how I always had a passion and a love for content creation. And I knew that in middle school and in high school, I wanted to have a YouTube channel, but it was so weird how I eventually ended up growing out of it. And I don't know if I grew out of it from the fear of the world and some of the things that were instilled in me, or if it was just the self-doubt within myself. It is crazy how we tend to have these passions and interests and love as children. And as we grow older, we kind of shape ourselves and tell ourselves that it's not going to happen. But there's a good chance that the person you are today is still doing something that you love to do as a child, but just in a different font. Looking at me now and the person that I am today, and after doing these past two steps that I just talked about over the past year and really, really honing in on exactly what it is that I was always passionate and really loved to do, it kind of revealed to me that it was always at the core of who I was as a child, but for some reason it was buried underneath the fear. I didn't know what that fear necessarily was, and it was something that I had to work through. But I encourage you, like as your step number 2, to really look at your childhood and who you were as a child, the things that you love to do and you found passionate and joy at, because as I spoke about earlier, your purpose is going to lie in your passion, in your interest. Although it may shape and change throughout the years and you may find yourself in a whole different path, those skills that you start to acquire when you follow your passions and your desires and your interests are going to evolve. They're going to get bigger. You're going to grow your skill set more. And then that's when, you may find yourself down a different path. It's all curated by the Lord and within the Lord's will. Your purpose is going to contribute and pour into others, allow others to elevate and grow with you as you're continuing to do that. Number 3 was really just tying it all together. It was looking back at what you love to do now, what your passions and dreams were as a child, and how those skills overlap each other, how those characteristics and your identity from who you are now and the child that you were, how do they overlap and cross with each other, and what just comes naturally to you. I know that's such an annoying thing to hear because people are like, a lot of the times nothing comes naturally to me. But I think we don't realize how special and uniquely made we are. And a lot of the times we look at other people and think, wow, if I had that skill or if I had that talent, like I would be unstoppable. But there are so many skills and talents within you, so many good things. I promise. People are looking at you like, girl, I wish I could do X, Y, and Z. That comes so naturally and beautiful to you. And although you may not hear it from people, trust me, it exists within you. And sometimes that one thing that just is so natural for you can help somebody else and can be your purpose, but also it can lie at the interest of what you already love to do. Because usually when we love to do something and we're so gravitated towards it, we subconsciously learn more about it and we subconsciously learn how to perfect it, skills that go about it. And the more knowledge that you have in a specific area, obviously the more wiser you are in that area and the more people can focus on the fact that you have so much knowledge and wisdom in that specific area. All kind of ties together and it's all like underneath this big bubble. I really did want to pinpoint on those 3 different points. And the first one being identify what really brings you joy. And this can be a bunch of things. Identify a bunch of things that bring you joy and really peel back those layers to see what skill sets lie within those enjoyments. Although it may look like I'm just hanging out with my friends, I really am good with planning and maybe even organizing, creating vibes and itineraries, understanding my audience. Those are skill sets that lie within that specific interest that I have. And do that for everything that you find joy in. For the things that if you were off of work or if you're at work and you're so excited to leave work, what are you so excited to leave work for? That could be as small as a Netflix series and watching a Netflix series. After you're done with the Netflix series, what do? Are you really good at recapping the series or really understanding a good movie? What type of skills and attributes lie within that interest? And really dig deep into it. Spend some time thinking about it and all the different things that you love to do and enjoy. And then take another look at some of the things that you love to do as a child. Now, really dig deep into the core and authentic version of yourself as a child. What little things did you like to do that brought you joy and fun and the games that you like to play and the things that you naturally gravitated towards? Take both of those interests and overlap them and cross them and find what skills just naturally come to you. Even if you do have a situation like me that you may have had a desire from a very young age or a desire that developed in your early teenage years that you never followed through with. What was that desire? What are you doing right now that maybe it's still peeking through and it's still like, hey, I still yearn to fulfill this and want to do this dream. Focus on the foundation of your purpose. Don't think about what is my purpose? What is the huge thing and the burning solution that I am going to contribute to this world? But look at your interest and your passion and what you're willing to work towards and build first. Then, as you continue to do that, I promise you that solution will be revealed to you. You will finally get that missing piece of the formula of I love to do this and I've learned so many skills in this area that I now have the knowledge to solve X, Y, and Z problem. Everything is going to unfold for you in your journey of life and it's going to be exactly curated for you and designed specifically for your journey and where you're currently at in this life and for you to evolve and grow and be the beautiful person that you are. The Lord's will always unfold regardless of which route you take. He is going to reroute you. So a reminder to stay solid and positive and faithful in that you are just always going to find your way. It's going to navigate exactly how you need to. One really big and important thing to know and to understand is that we get to see a very small piece of the puzzle, and we're looking at the very small piece of that puzzle right now, and all the life that we lived. There's still a huge picture that still needs to be revealed. The Lord is not going to reveal it to you all at once. Don't judge yourself or your life based off of that one little puzzle piece that you got right now, but take it slow and take it one step at a time. Purpose is just elevating others and pouring into others with the knowledge and the wisdom that you currently have. And that's going to come as you navigate this life. Start building your foundation, figure out your interests and your passion, the things that you're motivated towards. If you are having a hard time figuring out what that is, always, 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 always go back to the core, go back to the root, go back to your childhood self. They tell you so much more than you will ever, ever, ever know. I'm telling you, your childhood self is constantly speaking to you through everything that you do, through every day that you're living. Your childhood self is still living within you. Go back to the core, go back to the root, go back to the authentic and most purest version of yourself. I just want to continue to remind you that what you're doing right now may not even end up being what you're doing in 5 years. I don't even know if this is what I will be doing in 5 years. I don't know. But I do know that it's currently what I love to do now. I find purpose and I find myself driven in this area of my life, creating content and creating in a way that can pour into others and expand others. As soon as you just start to navigate those three little steps that I started to give to you, I promise you everything is going to click and it's going to come together very nicely. I hope this video digests properly. I was having a really, really hard time even putting it into words for myself, and then my camera kept dying, or it kept running out of storage actually. Go after your passions and motivations. You will learn, you will expand, you will grow, you will build that skill set. You may even find yourself in a whole different path after you have discovered so many skills and built this nice little knowledgeable bubble for yourself. But not everything that you enjoy needs to be a business, and that is okay. Go after what your heart truly desires. Your journey will unfold for you perfectly, abundantly, and within the Lord's image. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for sitting here today and watching this video. I hope that I helped in some way, shape, or form. And I love you. I will see you in another video. Bye.